Hey you guys, this is yellow13blue2 here again with another video game collection of mine. This video is going to be on my PlayStation collection, and yes, I'm going to divide this up into several sections for every single group. And I'm going to make one video which features just everything that I have PlayStation, period. Almost forgot something. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the consoles themselves. These are the stars of my collection. This is my PlayStation 1. I got this thing for $29 at EB Games. Here's what it looks like from the front, side, back. You can see we got a plug for the earphone. Well, actually, this doesn't have to be a headphone. It could be an audio. This is just a 3.5 audio jack. Here is a 3.5 AV jack. This one is a little bit harder to find, but it's rarely available at various different stores like Radio Shack, Best Buy, and Micro Center. This is the AV out, and here's the power for it. While we're talking about power, here is the power supply. That folds down, then this is a 7.5 volt adapter, and here is the piece, and you just stick it in here like that, and you're good to go. Comes with everything you need already on the console. One thing I like about this is that it's very small, compact, has the screen. And it came with this little protector, and I just decided to leave it on. Now here's your button for the brightness. These two buttons control the brightness on the screen. These two buttons control your volume. You got a speaker on the right and a speaker on the left. Your power button / reset button, although I never use the reset. Here's how you open the door, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Got a little light in there, but hopefully you should be able to see it. And it opens up a full 180 degrees. And that is the PlayStation 1. One thing I'll say about this that I don't like is the PlayStation 1 doesn't feature any anti-skip. You think at this size and with the screen being attached it would, but it doesn't. So that's the PlayStation 1. Now we're going to do the PlayStation 2. Okay, now we're on to the PlayStation 2. Here it goes. Here goes the front. You got 2 memory cards, 2 slots for memory cards, and you got 2 slots for controllers, 2 USBs on this model. There's various models of this that actually featured a 3rd USB option, but it was a USB piece that didn't get used that often. Then you have the let's go along here. There are 2 LEDs here, one for the tray opening and one for the reset button. Reset, if you hold down this button, it will put the console in dormant mode. And when you first turn on the console, you gotta go to the back, hit this switch. Right now it's in the on position. I shouldn't have done that. But this is the 0 is the off, the 1 is the on. And you just flick that on. Here's your power. You could this piece is easily available. It's the same thing that's used on the Sega Saturn, the Sega Dreamcast, the PlayStation 1. So literally, when you buy the PlayStation 2, all you gotta do is just disconnect the cable from the back of the PlayStation 1 and stick it in the back of the PlayStation 2. Both of them. Same AV out, and you get optical out. Now let me show you what I mean. Here is the PlayStation 1 again. Okay. Put the PlayStation 1 beneath. You can get a good look at the two pieces. And you also notice this one, this is the... Now some of the PlayStation 2s did start coming with the broadband adapter on the back, or the modem to be more precise, whichever you want to refer to it as. There is two things here. This is for the regular dial-up, which nobody used, and this is the broadband, which I've never used on here yet. This piece was $40 separate. I bought this on clearance, and that's how I got this. And back to the front, you notice you can also stand the PlayStation up. This logo could then be turned around and flipped. And then you can flip it back for horizontal use. I actually recommend leaving the PlayStation like this. Plus, you can throw stuff on top of it. And you might want to, and yours has been sitting in a nice dirty spot, you might want to clean out. You notice this one's pretty clean on the inside. I mean, the fan's a little bit on the dirty side, but I really haven't used this one. This is actually my second PlayStation 2. I had an older model which did have this thing right here, and that thing broke on me after I didn't use it. I literally let it sit for a year or so because I was busy playing my what was it? Oh, my Dreamcast. Because I at the time I was playing the Dreamcast more than I was playing the PlayStation 2 because I didn't have that many games. And the thing just broke on me. So that is it for the PlayStation 2 console. Up next, I'm going to do the controllers. Now, we're going to do the controllers. You always see me do the consoles. Let's do the controllers. First up is one of my favorite ones from a company called Interact. This is the Storm Chaser 2. There was a Storm Chaser 1, I'm assuming, but I don't know too many details on the first one. Let me unravel this. Get a pretty long controller with it. I mean, cable with it. I know I keep messing up. Why does it just say Storm Chaser? I know this is the Storm Chaser 2. Or, I don't know, maybe I am a little off. Well, I'm just going to go by what it says on the pad. This is the Storm Chaser from Interact. You see we got a 6-button layout on here. I do love that. And most importantly, now these two buttons, I think these two buttons are programmable, so they're not really adding that much to your gaming experience. Besides, for the fact of the matter, you could program these two buttons with any amount of inputs from the rest of the controller. Here's the program button right here, and here goes the auto fire button, which I use a lot. Here's the start button, select, and the mode for the analogs. Here's the D-pad. D-pad on here is pretty stiff. This is a good controller. Analogs are good. They click in, have a nice feel. Let's take a look at the two top buttons. Now the two top buttons feel a little bit spongy. They don't have a good click to them, but they do work very well once you start playing with them. Here's the bottom. As you see, I still got the stickers on here. I played with this controller a decent amount. Not too much, at least not enough to knock the stickers off. So that is it for the Storm Chaser controller, and sorry about the little discrepancy earlier about saying it's the Storm Chaser 2. I could have sworn there is a Storm Chaser 2. Or there might be, or I don't know, I could just be mistaken. Let me wrap this one back up. Up next is the I-Type 2. No, literally, that's what it's called. The I-Type 2. This controller, as you see, is rather large. Due to the fact of the matter, it does have a keyboard on it. You get 2 analogs. Well, I mean, all the PlayStation 2 controllers got it. So you got a select button, start, and here's your mode button right here. This is the little triangle thing. Well, not triangle, but pentagon. Be more precise. Here's your D-pad. D-pad here is, it's got a really good feel on this D-pad. And this is the company that makes it, Nyko. I'm pronouncing that correctly. And as you see, you got a full keyboard right here. This piece, you can actually get this little keyboard thing here separately from the whole controller. They actually do manufacture just the keyboard. But I really did like this one. I got it just because it's just really different. Here's the front with the 2 buttons. Your R2 and your R1 and your L2 and L1s. It's not a bad controller. And the most important part about this, if you do buy one of these used, it has this. Now this is how you plug in. You literally just plug in to here and you plug this into the USB on the PlayStation 2. And since I do have my PlayStation 2 out, I'm going to just plug in real quick. Zoom in. So you would plug your keyboard into the USB, like so, and then you plug your controller into the controller port, just like any other controller. So that's how it would be hooked up. And here's the wire for it. The wire does have a, now it remains apart all the way up until it gets to this piece right here. This piece, it unites and then it's just one lead going all the way back to the controller. So you don't have to worry about having 2 wires just running around. Now we're going to go on to my Logitech controllers, which I have 2 of for PlayStation. Here it is with the black. This is the Logitech controller. This is actually the 2nd generation of wireless Logitech controllers. Needs 2 AA batteries. Now this one is in good condition. Has all your standard buttons. Has a option for vibration. You can see that. All the standard stuff, analogs, and the buttons. The buttons are pretty nice. So I'm showing you the buttons on this one are way better than the buttons on the other one I'm about to show you. Got a good click to it. Now see, this is the thing that the Storm Chaser doesn't have, this little click. Love that. And here is the white one. This is a limited edition EA Sports one. This one is messed up. The D-pad sticks down. It's really not in great condition. So that's it for that one. But let me show you the receivers for it, because that is very, very important. Here's the receiver to the black one. And here is the receiver to the white one. Now, actually, if you look at this, these two right next to each other, which I'm going to attempt to do. You're going to see that the white one's a little taller. And here's the first generation of Logitech wireless controller. It's big, really big. Once again, the same button options, vibration option, mode option, all that standard affair. The buttons got a good feel to them. Now the triggers on here are really different. Another thing about this old one, this thing uses, looks like 4 AA batteries in order to operate. And here's the inside of the little case. This one is really huge. And now the Logitech controllers, they do operate on a frequency of 2.4 gigahertz. So I'm going to hold both of these in the same screen. Look at that. That is a major difference in size. And here goes a stock PS2 controller. Let me unravel this one. Now, the main difference, this is the DualShock 2. Now, you notice it's not going to do much of a click on the D-pad. The D-pad is good. It does come back up fully. It's not too much of noise. It is kind of a silent controller. But to each their own. No analog, just basic. And here is the PlayStation 1 controller. Only difference between this and the PS2 and some internal parts, the bombs of these two are not the same. I can get that thing to hold up. Maybe I should just drop them in. See, one's square and one's got kind of rounded. And to end off on the controllers, the only thing I got left to show you is this Zenith remote. This is the receiver for the universal PlayStation 2 controller. Because when the PlayStation 2 came out, it completely revolutionized everything. It was the first gaming console that had multiple universal remotes coming out for it. This thing runs on 2 AAA batteries. And there's a little LED that there's a little red LED that lights up so every time you hit the button. Now with this one, you had to hit the game, then you had to hit power in order to activate a red light on here. Because this red light was on, you wouldn't get anything. And let me show you how it hooks up to the PlayStation. I'm going to use the PlayStation 1 for this demonstration. In fact, no, let's use the PlayStation 2. Hook it up like that. Now the good thing about this one, and unlike the other ones that came around the same time, is that I can take, see, like, where's my Logitech receiver? I'm going to use the white one. I can take my game controller of any type, watch that, and then now it's hooked on. Now it is a little bit on the long side, especially with this receiver, but it probably wouldn't be that much difference if you use the wired controller. So that is the Zenith receiver and remote. Now for the last part of my controllers, here goes a 3-in-1. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by 3-in-1. This is the remote for it. This is the company I made. It's Niken or something. I can't even pronounce that. Now this is not a universal remote. This is just for the PlayStation. Strictly just for the PlayStation. And here's the thing that it controls. Now if you're wondering, oh, how does that remote control this? Let me keep the remote in view. Well, pretty simple. Take your PlayStation 2. And this is what I mean by a 3-in-1. Now your PlayStation can sit upright. And furthermore, it's a multi-tap. So you got memory card A, B, C, and D. And you just take this, stick it in here, and it would go into the console. I'm not sticking it in because it's a little dirty. So this is a multi-tap game stand and a remote all in one. I really haven't used it because I don't use the stand and I never use the multi-tap. Okay, back with another PlayStation of mine. Here goes my regular PlayStation 1. It's just like the other ones, 2 control ports, 2 memory card slots, power, reset, open tray. Now, let's take a look at the inside. You notice something's different. Something right here. Now this is actually for a hack device to be put in. The hack devices usually go on the back. And you have this. This is for connecting 2 consoles together so you can LAN party. Now you can only connect 2 PlayStations at a time, unlike the Xbox. Here's your AV out, and you do have the option of S video. And here goes your power supply. Now the whole power supply literally sits in this area right here on the PlayStation. This whole area right there is dedicated towards nothing but power of the console. Now we're talking about this. Now I felt it was important to have that PlayStation out since we're going to be talking about hack devices. Now let's talk about this little spring right here. Basically what this spring right here does is that it tricks. If you notice, there's a little. I'll take that out. It doesn't take that long to put in. You see that little plastic thing right there? That goes down into a button. You set that little circular thingy. It goes down to this little circular thingy, and it's actually a button that tells the console that the tray is closed. So when you take this spring, and here's the spring outside of it. See, it has this little pin on there. Then it has that. This part really isn't needed that much. So what you do is you take the spring, and then you'll put it inside that little tiny hole. And you'll press the button, tricking the console into thinking that the tray is closed when it is not. Why would you need to do that? Because this thing does Japanese games. Just plug this to this right here, which I'm getting ready to do right now. Push that in. Make sure this is in the up position for on, and you just start playing. Now the PlayStation, unlike the Sega Saturn, is as soon as you connect this, the console senses it, feels it, and actually utilizes it. Now, I had no idea. This is for going to a computer, but I've never used that feature before. All the Game Sharks have them. All the little hack devices, period, have them. So let me show you one of my favorite Japanese games for the PlayStation. Macross VFX 2. So what you do, you'll take an American game, you'll turn the thing on, take an American game, start with the American game, leave this open with the spring inside. You go in, do a selection real quick, then you swap, it'll stop the disc, it'll stop spinning it, pull the American game out, put the Japanese game in. Now you don't even have to close it, you could just leave the lid like that, but I just do that so dust doesn't get in there. And then you go press another couple buttons on the controller, and that's, you know, boom, you're in. So that's how that thing works. Now take this off. Take this. For some strange reason these kept breaking. These little tabs right here kept breaking. You can see where the plastic came off. But it's okay because it'll still work without. Plug it on the same way, and this way it will look like on your console. Then I have a button here where you can actually make. Now, what the button is for, and while you're in game, you can make codes in game. Now, you could always make codes before if you knew how to read code for a video game, and you could add in extra lives and health and all that before, but you know, somebody who knew how to do programming had to go in, pause the game. It was a long process to make these cheat codes. But what this did is that it made it so that just about anyone who has a small amount of programming experience or a little bit of knowledge can make their own codes. You can save your own code, create and save your own codes with the GameShark Pro. It was a really good hack device. Now, later versions of the PlayStation, of this same one, do not have the back piece for you to use the GameShark on. They completely phased that port out. And that has been the PlayStation 1 with its hack devices. You can find these things around the internet for pretty cheap. I got 4 of them myself, four of this one. I got 2 of the PlayStation 1, which I'll show you in a second. Let's do a little. And I'm not sorry about that. Do a little size comparison. Now, if you're asking me which one I like more, it's not this one. It's this one. It's the old guy. One of the reasons why I like the old guy, you can put hack devices on very easily. And this one actually has anti-skip built into the console, which is the biggest thing. And, you know, it's not even really that big. You can actually take this, put it in a car, no problem. Well, I wouldn't say no problem, but it's not as easy as putting the PlayStation 1 in a car, but it can survive actually being in there. PlayStation 1 cannot. Regular PlayStation can. So that is all for this video. And this time I actually mean it's all. I know I said it was all earlier. And I just wanted to show you what the PlayStation looks like in comparison to the other PlayStations and the hack devices. I also wanted to get those in. In fact, let me show you another size comparison. The PlayStation 1 is around the same size as the PlayStation 2. And actually, if you chop off this little part right here, they're the exact same size, at least width-wise. PlayStation 2 is obviously bigger, but it has better air circulation, so it keeps itself cooler than the PlayStation does. So that is all for these guys. That's been all 3 of the PlayStation compared to one another and the hack devices. This time we're going to do memory cards. And here's literally all my memory cards sitting inside here. First memory card we're going to do is the Mad Catz for the PlayStation 2. Let me do that on screen. Pull this little tab open. Case opens up 180 degrees, a little bit more. And here's the memory card itself. And here's the little empty case. Put that over there. Now this thing, I bought this because it was simply the cheapest memory card I could find at the time, and where I was working at, I wasn't getting paid that much, and my hours were really bad. See, it's black on the bottom. It's got a little grip on here, which I never use to pull it out. You always grab it by the side because there's always a controller directly underneath it. So I don't know why they designed it like that. Let's put this one away. And let's talk about, I want to do the PlayStation 2 memory cards first. Now let's talk about these guys. This is a pack that came in. At the time, they was doing a blue and a red pack. I think they also have available in black, and I think there was also maybe a black 2-pack. Not 100% sure. It was a long time ago. One of the things I like about the original PlayStation memory cards, you gotta go somewhere, you want to take a game with you over a friend's house, or if you just have a lot of memory cards that's from the original PlayStation brand, that's what you got. That's what you do. Now, all the PlayStation memory cards are 8 megabytes. All of them. Let me give you a close-up of the blue one. Now, I don't know why they chose to go with blue on blue writing when it's really kind of difficult to see. Yeah, that's one of my favorite games, Gundam. And that's it for the PlayStation 2 memory cards. Let's go on to the PlayStation 1. This is one of these memory cards that they kept making. I forgot what company made this. I think it may have been Interact. If somebody knows the company that made this, please leave a comment down below. Now, you had 2 memory banks, because this is actually based off of a massive memory card, or a memory card plus. I forgot what the name of them were, but it's literally 2 memory cards in one. You would hit this button up here and you get a second memory bank. Now, when you unplug it, or any time you plug it back in, it'll start you back on the first memory bank. I think that's how it worked. It's the back, it's the front. Now, this is one I bought years ago from Metal Gear Solid. It has a whole bunch of game saves from Metal Gear Solid built right in. They did them for various video games. There's a couple of them floating out about around here. And here's another one. First, I'm going to show you the case that it comes with. This is the Mega Memory Card. Now, it's supposed to be 360 blocks, but I probably only get half of that. It constantly malfunctions. Here's the side. I mean, this box is a little bit sloppy. I would take the paper out that's inside, but I just like having it for nostalgic purposes. And it comes with a bonus storage case. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This little paper wants to come out. Now, this is the memory card. Now, I'm not even going to pull. No, I'm going to pull it out. Let's pull it out. It's kind of hard to pull it out. You gotta leave the memory card in a certain way. But this is what it looks like. So this thing has a B, and a C bank of memory, and it goes all the way up to, I think, 8. So this is how you do the A banks. You go through A, B, C, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's how this one works. And this storage case is pretty nice. Now, this thing has messed up on me. It's just like the Sega Dreamcast version. I think this is also, yeah, this is an Interact company. Performance is also made by Interact. Like I said, they were a really big company when it came to accessories. They were like Mad Catz is now. So, and look, if you had 2 regular size memory cards, they could easily fit. And even if you had, say, like a third one of these, you could fit a pretty decent amount of memory cards in here. And yes, I'm going to get this one in here too. Now, with the Mad Cats in here, this is pushing a little bit, but it'll hold. So that is it for the memory cards. Alright, PlayStation. That is it for the PlayStation memory cards. Oh, one thing I forgot. Almost forgot. This is for the PlayStation 3. I don't know if it works with the PlayStation 4, but it's basically, you could put this memory card into this slot in front, and then you could attach it into the USB on PlayStation 3. So here are some cables from Monster Cable. Beautiful, lovely components. Got wrapped up with this nice little wire, this little Velcro strap. These Velcro straps are a good way of maintaining and preserving your old video game stuff. Gold plated. These are some of the best cables you could get. I mean, it's nice and thick. Even when you get down here, it's still pretty thick. It's flexible, it's strong. This is what you want. Monster cables. They got them for the 360. They got them for the regular Xbox, and I got them for the regular Xbox. And you will see my Monster cables on my video. That's going to be about the Xbox, so you will see them for the other consoles. Here is the S-Video cable that I have. It's not as fancy as the other one I just showed you, but it is just S-Video. Here's the S-Video piece right here. Here's your video piece. Here's your audios. The red. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't just make this one white. They made it. I mean, by process of elimination, you know this is the white one. Got these things. Got both of them on. This was $4 when I got clearance. What was it? GameStop? Yeah, GameStop. Got this. Same price. Best Buy. Clearance. Every time I get these things, it's usually on clearance. And there was actually another company that I'm going to show you on my 360 video where they had the cables, where it's another company that makes cables, and they make them just as good as Monster Cable. But theirs, well, at least on my employee discount, it was $14 off of original price of $60, I'll say. So that was all the Monster Cables, S-Video, and components for my PlayStation 2. And that is the end of my PlayStation 2 series. I am going to later edit these videos, combine them into one whole video, and you could just watch my whole collection if you just want to see everything that I got. This is for me, this is like an archive of gaming history. I'm not the only one who has this stuff. A lot of other people have it. Yeah, I know that. There's a lot of other YouTubers like Aaron Corolla or Corollic. I should be subscribed to him. He's probably one of the few people I'm subscribed to on this channel. And he has some of the same stuff that I have. He probably might not have everything. There's some stuff I have that he probably doesn't even have. But this is the end. I did the controllers, did the memory cards, did the consoles themselves. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching my videos. Click like, subscribe, share it on Facebook, thumb it up on Facebook, share it on Facebook. Bring some traffic to me. I can always use it. So that is it for the whole PlayStation series, my PlayStation 1 and 2. So on that note,